What is up, guys? We have new cards that have been revealed today in Ancient Roar and Future Flash, which will make up our English Paradox Rift. This set releases in Japan on October 27th, and our set comes out, I think, a little bit early in November, which makes it one of the first times ever that our set and the Japanese sets are kind of coinciding. So we kind of get to see the first time that these cards will be played at the same time for the first time reveals. So I'm very excited to see some of these new cards, what the power they have. We've seen some some Paradox Rift cards already, some of the more powerful ones. I'm excited to see if there's more really cool cards. I'm always your source for card reveals and all that stuff too. Only competitive stuff. We're only going to talk about that. Nothing like speculation, no buy, sell, trade. You can always talk in the Discord down below in the link to with some of the other members of our Discord community about the new cards. And please like and subscribe. Let's jump right into it. Toad School, Toad's Cruel. Oh no, wait, still Toad Schools. Sticky Spore, Basic Grass. 50 HP though, less valuable. 60 HP one is pretty relevant, I guess. You want 70, if anything. That is a sick looking Toad Screw alt art. I've been a big fan of the alt arts, by the way, recently. Like, I think these are absolutely gorgeous. Just very, very beautiful cards. Mycelium Colony. I don't know if I said that right. Cards in your opponent's discard pile can't be put into their hand through effects of trainer cards or abilities they use. So that stops Clara. That stops... There has to be something in Paradox Rift that it actually stops that it makes sense for. But it feels like a really cool ability, actually. So this is actually, I think, a really strong card. If there is more than one useful ability that people need to put cards back into their hand with. So this is cool. I like this card. The regular one looks so goofy. I'm just going to play with the alt arts if I can. Shroom Drain is not a cool enough attack. We have a Magby alt art. Oh, that's a cool art. He's just chilling. A Gradual Heater. During your opponent's next turn, if this Pokemon's damaged, put 6 damage rounds in attacking Pokemon. That's pretty weak. Doesn't actually do anything. Charcadet. Flip a coin, protect. Another Charcadet. There's no translation on it. So we're going to just keep moving to Armarouge EX. Armarouge EX ability Crimson Armor. When this Pokemon's full HP, it takes 80 less damage from your opponent's Pokemon. That's quite a bit. So it has effective 340 HP, but also if you don't play healing cards after one shot, you are not actually that, I guess. So you have to kind of just play healing cards with this. Scorching Bazooka, 40 plus 40 for each fire attached to this Pokemon. I guess you could play the other Armarouge that lets you move energy around with Cheryl and some combination of that, but I think Cheryl does rotate pretty soon. So this is actually not a combo that lasts quite a bit. Wimpod Alt Art. I like this quite a bit. It's very cool looking. Secret Snack. Flip a coin if heads. Add discard a random card from your opponent's hand. Hey, control. You never know. Flip some coins. Mill some cards. Galissa X. That is sick looking. Wow. Wow. Water type. 70 HP. Or 70 damage. Aqua Blade. Colorless. Water double colorless. Strategic Retreat 170. Discard 1 energy from this Pokemon. If you do, switch this Pokemon with one of your benched Pokemon. Pretty decent, but I think discarding 1 is not amazing. 170 pivot is actually pretty cool though, so you can play something like Klefki, wall up behind it, and just go back and forth, and just kind of make your opponent's life kind of tough to play around. So it could be really interesting. Another hit and run effect, very similar to what they've always had. Veluza Alt Art. This card goes crazy. There's so much going on here. Wow. Cut for the job. If this Pokemon is in your active spot and knocked out by damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, move two waters from this Pokemon to your water. 60, 20 for each water. So I guess you can like play a Veluza now in something like Chanpao or another Baxcalibur style deck because you can preserve energies and it can be a one prize attacker in your deck. It does have 2 retreat, which is a very huge negative for decks like Chanpao that want to be pivoting. So Swablu Alt Art. He's just hanging out with the Winkles. That's so cute. Then we have Altaria Alt Art. Wow, this is a gorgeous card. He's a big guy looking with his Winkles now, just flying, you know. Altaria, it's a dragon type. Humming Heal. Once you're in turn, you heal 20 from each of your Pokemon. Interesting effect. Water Metal 140 during your opponent's next turn. Prevent all effective attacks from your opponent's Pokemon done to this Pokemon. Okay, cool. Damage is not an effect. So the attack isn't really that great, but the ability is pretty cool, especially pairs very well with Goodra. So it's the same energy typing, and I guess maybe like if there's something tankier, maybe like the Armarouge deck, this makes a lot of sense. It's everyone's favorite mice coming into play. Damage Rush 10. You can win the game with Tandem Mouse. Another Tandem Mouse. Slip 40. They can't attack next turn. Maushold EX. Ability. Solidarity. If this Pokemon is in the active spot and damaged by an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, put 3 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon for each of your Tandem Mouse and Maushold, including Pokemon EX, in play. Wait, so like, I just have this guy in the active and all of a sudden I'm doing 120 back? That's what? Like, that includes the baby. Is there any way to get Tandem Mouse or Maushold into play without having the baby? I don't think so. So you can cap out at 120? Just 120 for you attacking me? What? That's actually insane. Like, that's just not fair. And then you just Greedy Fangs for 120, draw 2. But also, like, if you don't one-shot this Maushold, you're effectively getting one-shot in return. And you can play, like, healing cards, Sharon's Care until it rotates. No retreat, 0 retreat cost, by the way. So this card is just, like, insanely tanky. I guess these 2 small guys get popped pretty easily. But, like, what? Dude, this card is crazy. This card is really good. This card is really, really good. 2 Flittles. They both don't do really anything. Both like small. Espathra. Altaria, that goes kind of crazy also. Ability is like a JoJo's episode right here. Like, this is like in part 3 when like anytime Muhammad Abdul fights. Ability All Seeing. When you play this card from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you use this ability during your opponent's next turn. Prevent all damage on this Pokemon by your opponent's attacks. Not great. If you have Tulip in your discard pile, what is this? Oh, this is a supporter. Okay, gotcha. Glitter Eyes 70, 2 Psychics. If you have Tulip, does 70 more. Makes sense, but I feel like people can just gust around it, and 120 is a little bit too fragile for this card to be crazy. Countercatcher is back. I feel like people have already gone crazy and bought them out. I'm not going to be able to get a gold. I think I'm late to the party because I'm recording this video. Quite unfortunate, but I should have a gold Countercatcher somewhere in my old cards. But Countercatcher is back. You can play this card if you have more prize cards remaining than your opponent. Switch your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active spot, which now adds another layer of turns where you can now go Boss Iono in the same turn potentially and disrupt your opponent's much, much greater. Countercatcher is an insanely powerful card for things like that. So a really, really cool thing to come back. I think Countercatcher was a very well-balanced card. Made a lot of sense. I think the play from behind effects are very strong, especially ones that act as supporter cards, but they only work when you're behind. I think that's very cool. Like Reversal, Countercatcher, I think they're very well-designed cards, and I think they're going to be a lot of fun for the game, especially coupled with something like Iono, because we had like N. Did we have N in that format? In Zoroark format? I don't even remember. But then we had Stamp. I think we had Stamp Countercatcher. I don't remember what we had in Zoroark format, man. It's been so long, but it feels like yesterday at the same time. Snorlax Doll, 120. If this card's in your hand when you take a play, you may put it face down and play as if for 120 basic. You cannot play it at any other time, so it's only when you set up. Anytime during your turn, you may discard this Pokemon, you can't retreat. So it's basically just a control card, almost effectively. Like, you're basically just saying, for my control decks, I can find this card in my opening hand to put it into play. And you can play this like for Snorlax Doll and maybe like no other real Pokemon, but that might just sound bad anyway. Like, maybe you just play this to have maybe you play like 2 or 3 of them just to say, like, if this opens in my opening hand, I have something for my control deck, because control plays like a lot of 1-ups and 2-ups anyway. So Sander's probably having a great time over there geeking with some of these new cards. I don't know. This is a really cool set. A lot of these cards are really, really cool, like really insane. I'm very excited to see how they play into our meta. Obviously, I think that these would be at least one rotation to cut Lost Box off, like Lost Box's head off and Mew's head off, before we can actually play like these cool cards. But I think in like 2 years' time, when or even 1 year's time when our rotation happens, like, we're gonna have a lot of really cool cards to play with, and I'm very excited to try these out. So I know I sound very excited, guys. I'm literally leaving for Peoria in about 2 hours. So, I don't know why I'm recording this, but thank you guys for watching. I appreciate all the support as always. Please like and subscribe. Thank you so much. I don't know where my camera is, and bye. Adios.